The skies above Europe are a tinderbox bristling with intent. Russian warplanes, silent drones, probing, testing, and now Donald Trump has drawn a new red line for Vladimir Putin. The US president declared NATO allies should shoot down Russian aircraft that violate their territories.
Eastern Europe is brimming with tension. Russian jets, heavy with intent, routinely buzz NATO airspace. A dangerous game of cat and mouse played out at Mach speed. Not just reconnaissance, but brazen incursions. Ukraine is under intense aerial attack from Russia, but the heat is now being felt across the Ukrainian border. NATO jets intercepted 3 Russian MiG-31 fighters last week after they entered Estonian airspace over the Gulf of Finland. On Monday, Denmark was forced to shut its airport. In the capital Copenhagen, after unidentified drones caused panic. The incidents followed drone incursions in Romania and Poland, where some of the unmanned aircraft were shot down by NATO jets. Russia dismissed claims that it breached NATO's airspace as hysteria.
Thus, our former European partners, if you want to get hysterical, to ferment, and to continue to levy baseless accusations, go right ahead. But do that without our participation. We do not intend to participate in this theater of absurdity.
The US president has now given the green light to his European partners that they could shoot down any jet or drone which enters NATO territory.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Mr. President, do you think that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if they enter their airspace?
Yes, I do.
The risk? A fatal miscalculation. A drone crossing the wrong line. A pilot misjudging altitude. A missile fired in panic. From there, the escalation ladder is steep and unforgiving. A single engagement could drag NATO and Moscow into direct conflict. A conflict that would not stay confined to the skies. Trump's words have electrified the debate. Supporters argue toughness is the only language the Kremlin respects. Critics warn that such rhetoric could harden positions and shorten fuses. Europe's skies are becoming a battlefield of nerves where speed, pride, and politics collide. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
We earlier spoke to retired Colonel Lieutenant Daniel L. Davis, who's a military expert and host of Daniel Davis Deep Dive on YouTube, and this is what he told us.
Powerful secondary sanctions he's going to impose on India, on China, on Brazil, or even on European countries that are buying oil from Russia, etc. We can't impose those. And the one exception has been India, of course, where we had that 25% additional tariff. That hasn't been resolved. But when you're talking about China or some of these others, that will only harm the United States. And Trump specifically said, unless the European Union cuts off all the oil immediately and applies all these tariffs, then we won't do that. So what I think this tells you is that President Trump has run out of cards to play, so now he's just using a lot of rhetoric. But even this situation where, quote, authorizing NATO to shoot down Russian airplanes, I mean, that they don't need his permission. That's their national airspace. They alone make that determination, and they still will. So I think that other than a lot of rhetoric, that nothing has really changed, and it just shows that there is no leverage point for the United States.